Well, hello, this is Steve from the National Campus office. Hope this finds you well. Wanted to share a few thoughts about who we are and where we're going. And we keep coming back to this idea when we're asked that question, or when we think about it, which we think about it a lot, is spiritual movements. Really right in line with the Great Commission from Matthew 28. We're believing God for spiritual movements on every college athletic department that will impact the campus and the community and the world for Christ. And we in AIA Campus and in Athletes in Action overall, I really am encouraged that we're in a great spot, that the Lord, His favor, His grace is evident. And one part of that is that we are growing, and healthy things grow, and we are growing. And we see that reflected in so many stories that we're hearing from the field, but also in our numbers, that our sending numbers are significantly up from last year, and last year's numbers were up from the year before. And so thank you for your part in the sending process, and mostly thank you for praying for laborers. We're seeing our numbers of staff campuses that are at the largest number ever of our presence, where staff are physically present at least a day a week or 5 days or more a week. And so we're at 110 staff campuses as of this week, and that's up from 95 back in September of 15, which is up from 85 back in September of 13. And so what a thrill, what a blessing that God has given us favor to be in more places, to bring Win, Build, Send, to bring the Great Commission to bear in those spaces with those athletes. And so a few aspects of spiritual movements that we're encouraged by around the country. One is changed lives. I know changed lives continues to be such a motivator for me and for so many of us. And so one changed life story came from a recent Badger Life meeting, actually the last Badger Life meeting of the year at the University of Wisconsin, where a senior shared that to see what God is doing on our campus and through our athletes is actually incredible. God is on the move. And then she said that God used AIA to save my life, that I was very lost coming in as a freshman, and I came into college as a little spark, and I'm leaving college on fire for Christ. And that's what this ministry is all about. So we're seeing change lives. We're also seeing you equip leaders for multiplication. We're seeing you train people in Win, Build, Send, train your disciples and kick them out of the nest and really help them to join Jesus on mission for the very first time in so many cases. And so Peter Gonzalez at Arizona State brought 3 Sun Devil athletes with them to Puerto Rico 2 months ago for a 1-week spring break trip. They had such an unbelievable experience, many for the very first time experiences in terms of evangelism. They come back and they say to Peter, why aren't we doing this here? And so now the 4 of them meet every Thursday. They break up 2 by 2 and they go out and they share their faith using Solarium cards and KGP and other tools, and they're having a blast doing it on campus. And so we're seeing change lives, we're seeing leaders equipped for the very first time, but we're also seeing an important part of spiritual movements is leaders developed. And one significant way we're developing leaders within AIA Campus, as you know, is through the local team leader role and the local team leader training. And after 2 years of training leaders in this new job description and this new training, we're thrilled to say that 48% of our local ministries around the country have at least one LTL, trained LTL in place. And after next year, come March of next year, as we finish year 3 of LTL training, we're believing God, our goal is to be at 75%. And people like Alethea Lamberson in Atlanta have benefited greatly, and we've heard such great feedback from so many of you. It's been super encouraging. But Alethea shared how some of the highlights are for her of LTL were the connecting and processing with other female LTLs, having community and asking questions like, what are we doing? And how do we work through our fears and insecurities? And how do we work with our male counterparts? And so she continues to say thanks for the challenge and the push that this process, this role, and where AIA overall has encouraged her to go, a place that she probably wouldn't have gone without it. So we're grateful for our local teams in this direction, where we're believing God to see teams move after, trust God for a multi-athletic department scope in each of those locations, to extend the mission of Win, Build, Send, and to invite more and more athletes in those places around the country to say yes to Jesus and to really get in that that 2,000-year jet stream of the Great Commission. So we're excited. We're thankful. Without you, this is not possible. Thanks for who you are. Thanks for what you're doing. Thanks for trusting God. And we really look forward to seeing you and celebrating with you in a couple months at Cruise 17. Thanks.